welcome back. I gotta be honest with you, this Flyin King's been giving me some problems. Went to go run it, and the engine would only run 4 or 5 minutes at a time, and it would just die. I mean, it was just like it ran out of fuel. I checked all the plumbing and everything, all that was good. I changed the glow plug out on it. That didn't affect it. So I went to my sources on Facebook and asked some questions about it, like, why is this happening? Because I'm having the same exact problem with my my Super Tiger 91 powered Ceremark pits that I got upstairs. I don't think you guys have seen that one yet. And I'm like, I gotta get this engine figured out, why it's not running right. So asked them, I told them I set up the fuel I was running and everything and what was going on, and a lot of guys suggested that I change props. I think I had a 13.6 on it, and they suggested I go up to like a 14.8. So we did that, got a little better, was able to run it a little longer. Yes, it has flown. If you haven't noticed, the landing gear's changed because that was the other problem. The landing gear that I put in there wasn't, something happened with it, and one leg was just really wobbly. I couldn't get in there to fix it, so I just drug these aluminum landing gear out and stuck them on there. So it's flown a couple of times, but only 4 or 5 minutes at a time. Flies okay. Needs a lot of tuning. It's I think it's a little on the tail heavy side, so I think I'm gonna stick some weight in it the next flight I get. Apologize about not getting any video on it, but there just wasn't nobody out there to take video. So what you're gonna see next here is the only thing we can figure is the common denominator between this plane and the Ceremark pits is the fuel that I'm using, because they both do the same exact thing. They just don't run for very long. And the engine on the Ceremark pits has never done that before. When it was in another airframe, put it in there and it started doing it. The only thing we can figure change is the fuel mixture that I'm mixing in it. I was using 15% Omega back then. Never had any problems. This was supposed to be like a 15% Omega blend that I was mixing, because I mix my own fuel. The only thing we can figure is it's getting hot because it doesn't have enough oil content in it. I'm mixing 17% oil, 15% nitro, and the other big thing suggestion was to lower the nitro content down to 10% instead of 15. So I've done that. I've made you can see the difference in these 2-gallon jugs. So this is my 15%, 17% oil content. This is 10%, 20% oil content, and the other thing I changed is I went to 16% Super Technique plate, and I made the remainder 4% was total caster. So I've upped the caster limit too on it. Caster is supposed to synthetic burns off at a lower temperature than caster does, so caster gives you higher protection when with hotter engines. So by running more caster, I'm going to get more heat protection. It's going to do more job, and also the oil makes the engine cooler. So we're going to fill it up. We're going to take it outside and see what it sounds like. So give me a few minutes here to get it finished up, filled up, and outside and set up, and we'll get a video of it, see if it runs any longer. much of that you saw because about midway I noticed the camera fell down, so I apologize about that. But that hasn't ran that good yet, and it ran for a long time too. I got it high up in the air here. Let's set her down. I don't know if you can see in there how much fuel I got. But that was about a half a tank, give or take. But normally it would stop. I mean, there'd be a little bit gone, and then you'd fire it back up, and there'd be a little bit more gone before it would die again. So at least it ran pretty consistent there. Was having problems keeping my muffler tight, which love my Super Tigers, but that's the biggest beef I got with them is they drilled these and tapped them for metric threads, and I've never been able to keep one together. So, and this one hasn't had that mod yet. I mean, they could have. If you look here, I mean, they could have drilled them straight through like the old Super Tigers, and just put a nut and a bolt on it. So that's what I plan on doing to this. I've done it to all my other engines. Plenty of clearance around there for a 256 bolt, and lock nut, and never had that problem again. Got pretty good oil coming out. Nothing like what it was before. It's pretty clean. I mean, I know it looks dirty, but that's pretty clean. Let's see how it usually cleans up fairly decent here. I could just grab a rag. There's one. This is hard to do one-handed. Put you up here. So, yeah, I mean, I got some. Yeah, I cleaned up real nice. It almost looks like some of my paint's starting to come off. Huh. Oh, new ideas, right? Frustrating. I hope you hear my frustration with this thing. It should have just flown. Anyhow, so there's that part of it. I'm going to clean this up, drain the fuel out of it. I'm going to drill that out for 256, and then fix these windows, because these windows are rattling loose. This one's actually broke. That's the one I just screwed down. I had too much vibrations. I might check the balance on the prop maybe, because you could hear it. So I know I checked it once, but I didn't do it with my precision one, so maybe I got to do that to it too. Keep some of the vibrations down. So anyway, there's that. Tomorrow I'm going to the flying field. This is definitely going with me. We'll get it up in the air. My youngest daughter that likes to film me flying, and she's pretty darn good at it. You've seen some of her work already. We'll be there, so we'll get some video of this flying. We'll call it the maiden, but it won't be. Like I said, it's already flown once. It flies around fine. I'd like to have a little bit more aileron throw, and I think she's a tad bit tail heavy, because it needed quite a bit of up trim to fly level. So lands beautifully. I mean, it's obviously a trainer style plane, so but you don't even notice the low wing modification done to it. It looks pretty good in the air. It flies around quarter to half throttle, so probably a motor change coming up. I don't need this much engine on the plane, so might keep it for balance, so we'll see. But anyhow, I'll bring you back, and we'll get this thing up in the air and tomorrow, and so thanks y'all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.